It's like slow. Oh, let's go. Hey, everybody, are live on Makers. I can't even articulate today. I didn't sleep last night, Lambros.
Too much bike riding.
Yeah, exactly. I got the bike next to me with like the $100, not $100, £100 cart, and I'm beautiful Perth, Ontario. Where are you, Lambros?
I'm in Mississauga, central
Oh,
Mississauga.
that's nice.
Just moved into my new
That's
place.
nice. Is that what we can see through the window behind you?
Yes, this is a nice view that I have, but if I open the shade, it's way too bright, so there's a lot of glare and you won't be able to see anything.
Yeah.
So that's why I have
Just
to have
think
the
you're
shade
like
now.
Jesus and like you got the aura around you.
Not quite, but yeah, close. Sure.
Close enough. So Lambros, tell
Yes.
us a bit about yourself and why do you want to see miracles around you?
Oh, wow. I mean, that's a deep question, obviously, but I think there's miracles all around us, right? Life is a miracle, right? The birds are a miracle, the way they can fly. The bees that make honey are a miracle. Everywhere you look, there's a miracle if you're actually looking for it, right? So, yeah. I mean, that's the way I see it. Life itself is a miracle. We see miracles every day, So, I mean, I don't have children, but I do have two nephews and a niece, and they're a miracle, right? Every time they say something that blows my mind, or they do something, it's just it's incredible.
Yeah. And just the fact that the kids, they must grow every time that you see them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm grateful that they're in my life, and I'm so lucky that I see them maybe 2 times a week, 3 times a week, hopefully. But and every time I see them, they always impress me. They always do something miraculous, for sure. Hey, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Lambros. Hi,
Just on
Gio.
time.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
We're doing
The weather
fantastic.
here in DC is so hot and humid. It's been 99 degrees for the past couple of days, and this is the culmination of the heat and humidity. My hair does this. So.
Nice.
I hear you.
Bit of a miracle.
It's the same up
Michelle,
here. Yesterday was
Lambros and I,
moving.
we were. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Guillaume. Go ahead.
We were just talking about the miracles around us, and the fact that he sees like his niece and nephew, like they grow every time he sees them, and like they're like really excited about what they see around them as well. Like children see miracles everywhere, and like I fear that adults stop seeing them, and that's what we want to bring back, right?
Yes. Oh, to be a child again. Yeah. And just to see life through those lenses. It's so beautiful.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love just, I always say we have to nurture our inner child. So that inner child, the little girl or the little boy within us is still there, right? That inner child never leaves. So we need to always make sure that we're nurturing her or him and doing things that make her happy, even if it might seem a little, childish or immature to other people, it doesn't matter because that's what our inner child needs. So we need to listen to that.
Yeah. And children are great for that because they keep you young, right? They keep me young, right? So that's why I love spending time with them as well. They just, they're such little miracles, and I'm so happy that they're in my life.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Lambros, you know how much I love nature, and I know you've been saving animals for like you just love animals, and that's so amazing. So tell us.
I do. That started before the pandemic. I actually have a story because I work in real estate, right? And one of my clients had a dog, a Rottweiler, right? And if you know the Rottweilers, they can be quite intimidating in dogs, right? And a lot of people are scared of them. So when I went over to the client's house, the dog was there and he was barking. So they were trying to hold him back, and they said, don't get. We'll put him put him in a different room for you so he doesn't, so you don't get scared or whatever. And I said, no, that's okay. You can let him out. And they said, are you sure? And they did. And he, instead of, barking at me or biting me or anything like that, I mean, he really took to me. And I ended up playing with him fetch inside the house, right? He was bringing me his little toy and I was tossing it. He was bringing it back to me and he sat right beside me, sat on my leg. He was a big guy, right? And he had a huge head and he's sitting like on my foot. And they were flabbergasted. They were just like, wow, he's never done that to anybody. He's never taken to anybody. How come he's taken to you? I said, I don't know. I guess he feels the love that I have for animals and for dogs. Right.
My
so
God, Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah. It was
That's because they had never met Lambros the dog whisperer until now.
Well, that's what I call myself sometimes, as a joke, the dog whisperer, because every time that happened, it wasn't only that one time. Every time my clients have had a dog, or I've gone to somebody that has a dog, and they said, "Oh no, we got to put him in a different room or chain him up." I said, "No, let him out, let him go." So anyway, going back to that story, we fast forward about a year or 2 years later, when I actually ended up selling one of their investment properties. I asked them, his name was Spike, right? So I said, "How's Spike doing? I haven't seen him in a while." And they said, "Oh, we have to put him down." And I'm like, "Why do you have to put him down? He was very young. He was only like 4 or 5 years old at the time." And they said, "Well, he bit our teenage son, and we can't control him, and he's destroying everything in the house." So, I mean, long story short, I told them, don't put him down. Let me try and find a new place for him, a new home for him, right? So I did all the things. I put him online. There's rescueme.org is a place where you can, help save animals and get them a new home. So I couldn't find anybody right away. So I said, look, don't put him down. They had scheduled the appointment for 2 weeks out, and they didn't want to change it. And I said, look, don't put him down. If I can't find anybody in a week, I'll take him myself, right? And I had I was living in a very tiny apartment in there. I had a cat as well. So it was very difficult to bring him in. That's why I didn't want to take him initially, but I ended up taking him anyway. And also at the same time, trying to find a new home for him. And thankfully, I did find a lovely woman out in Nova Scotia who loves Rottweilers and has 2 dogs of her own. And she's fabulous. She's only 21 years old at the time. This was 2 years ago, but she's so good with dogs. I haven't seen anybody as good with dogs as she is. She trains them so well. I met up with her in Kingston because she was coming this way anyway. She was coming towards Toronto. I was driving out to Kingston for a different reason. So I said, let's meet up in Kingston. There's a big yard there where I'm going. And, I can bring Spike and you can bring your dogs and see if they hit it off. And they did hit it off. We were worried initially, and the homeowner where we were meeting was also worried that, we shouldn't let the dogs loose because they might fight. This woman from Nova Scotia insisted that, no, forget the leashes, just let the dogs go and we'll see what happens. And true enough, at first they did a standoff, right? So face to face, but her dog really I guess he was the alpha. And so he kind of tamed the other one, even though the other one was rambunctious and the other owners couldn't control him. She and her dog got him under control, and they ended up driving back to Nova Scotia with Spike. She changed his name to Coda, and he's living his best life now. I actually visited them a few months later, and he was such a different dog, so calm, and she takes him for walks off the leash, doesn't attack anybody. So it's such a fabulous turnaround, and it feels really good to have helped that, and I've saved that life. So going forward from there, I decided, you know what, why don't I help other dogs find forever homes, or I called it forever homes. And this was, I hooked up with a dog adoption agency. They used to bring in dogs, I think they still do, from Greece, stray dogs from Greece. And then they try and find foster homes here or permanent homes here. So I was doing a weekly show called Forever Homes, trying to feature a dog a week and trying to get them into a new home. But then unfortunately I had to stop doing that because of the pandemic. Everything shut down. So, and I haven't been back to doing it again, but I will at some point start doing it again for sure. Yeah.
What a
Oh, I know
beautiful
you will. Tell us
and
your
a
Ambrose.
miracle that you brought to Spike's life, and beautiful miracle that you're bringing to all these dogs when you're rehoming them.
Yeah.
And it's all about energy, right? So the dog needed to be in the right energetic space, and then
That's
he
right.
was able to calm down, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what he needed. And as humans, we feel it too. We thrive.
Yeah. I agree, absolutely.
And we are.
It's all about energy. Yeah, I agree. And this woman from Nova Scotia said the same thing. It's all about the energy, and the dogs can read energy and they can feel it.
Yeah.
And you know, that's why dogs take to me, because they know I'm not a threat, right? I'm not scared of them. I'm a friend, right? And so they can sense that, right? So,
Yes, they can sense it. Absolutely. Yeah, you're not a scary guy at all, Ambrose. You've got great energy.
That's so true. Ambrose, at the
some people will argue that. Yeah. What's that?
At the cottage
What's
last
that?
week, there was or 2 weeks ago, there was a wasp hive on the garage, and my father wanted me to spray it and kill the wasp. But I came in with so much love. I took the wasp nest in a bucket, and I put in the forest, and there were wasps on the book I was holding on, and they didn't bite me or sting me.
Really? Oh my god!
But they came, and because I loved them, and I prayed the whole time. I was I love you, I trust you. And when I came back to the garage the next day, and then my father was wanted them dead, so they stung him. They stung his wife just because they didn't It's the fear, it's stuff that we show to the animals.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's a whole other level. I don't know if I'd be brave enough to take a wasp's nest out. No. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you're a whole different level, my friend, for sure.
Yeah. Guillaume has
I love you, Lambros.
Animals and all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us, Lambros, you showed us your dream the other day, and let's make that happen. You have a dream of a shelter, am I right?
Yes, it's more than a shelter. My dream is to have a huge lot or huge property somewhere in the country. It doesn't have to be too far out, as long as there's enough space for as many dogs as possible. So all these dogs that can't get fostered or can't get adopted, they'll have a place here. Whether they're old or whether they're, at the end stage of their life, or whether, they're injured, or, there's so many dogs out there that nobody wants because maybe they're missing a leg, or maybe they're too old, or what have you, right? So nobody wants these dogs. So they're all would be welcome there. I have as many dogs as possible. If somebody wants to adopt one, we can go through that process. But that's basically my dream. And maybe I can set up a little, some services for them. We can have a little spa there. We can have a dog chiropractor there. And chiropractic is such an amazing thing. I've seen miracles happen. My friend, Dr. Craig Landry, he actually does chiropractic for dogs as well, and he's done some miracles there. I mean, if you follow his page, it's crazy, the turnaround. Some dogs can barely walk. I remember one little dog was walking in circles the whole time because something was off with their balance. He made an adjustment in the dog's neck, and now the dog is walking straight. So
wow,
it's incredible. Yeah,
that
it was
is
amazing,
incredible
for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. I know exactly. Yes.
Beautiful. So let's
manifest. What did
Lambros
to make that?
Lambros, this is a beautiful dream, and I think you can absolutely make it happen because you've got that passion, that desire, and I don't see why it's not going to become a reality for you. So let's put that out there and make this miracle happen.
Sure. Well, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. If you can help make it happen, for sure. Yeah, that would be great.
All the collective energy and the love.
Yeah, exactly. I can feel someone wanting to donate land for the cause. I can feel it.
Well, that would be a very generous donation. So I don't know if it's going to happen.
How
but
much would you need, Lambros?
I'm not sure. I have to do more research on it and see. But at least acres, at least a couple of acres or something, because I want as many dogs. I don't want there to be any restrictions, like space restrictions, right? So we have to have tons of space out there. It has to be something that we can have a little house and maybe a second building, like a shelter for the dogs in case of bad weather, so they can all hang out or what have you, right? It has to be winterized. There's just so much to think about and do, right?
How about
So
like
let's
35 acres north of Whistler? How would that sound?
35 acres north of Whistler? What?
Yeah.
Do you have something up there?
Well, somebody last year that I met in Mexico a few years ago said like, oh, I'm starting development. I'd like to like do this part with you.
Wow.
And I wasn't sure what to do yet.
Wow, I love BC, so that would be certainly something to look into. Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Well, there you
So
go. There's a
Limerick,
miracle in the making.
Yes,
Sure.
Limerick, I've got a challenge for you. Since
Okay.
you've got your background in real estate and your love for dogs and making this dream a reality, why don't you start creating your vision board if you haven't already, and picture the real estate required to make this happen, and really get clear on what it's going to look like, how big it is, all the different services that you want to have for the dogs, how you're going to draw them on the image, exactly place wherever it be, because that is going to be what you're going to manifest. So that's your challenge. Create that beautiful vision board, and then share it with us. Tag us on it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will see that from our reality.
I think that's a great idea. I love it, because if you see something, you can visualize it, it can happen, right? So I haven't, like I said, I haven't really put that much thought into it. It's just an idea that I have in my head, but I think you're right. I think I have to start manifesting that process, and then hopefully it'll happen for sure.
It will. It will. I have no doubt.
It will happen. It has to.
Such a pleasure having you here and sharing your beautiful journey and what you're trying to accomplish for all these lovely creatures, and your passion. And so we're all here praying for this miracle to happen for you. Wow. And we're really excited to see when you do manifest it and it becomes a reality. So lovely to have you here and share your story with us. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Michelle. Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure chatting with you and Guillaume. You guys are incredible. You guys are miracles in my life as well. So I'm so happy to have met you. And I look forward to doing more things with you down the road.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Likewise. Thank you so much. Thank
you.
No
friends.
My pleasure. Bye, everybody.
Have a beautiful weekend.
Bye, everyone.
You too. Thanks.
Bye,
Ciao.
everyone. Bye-bye. Until next week.
Bye.